All right, welcome to another episode of Keepers of the Gloom. I'm Kyle Tucker, 35 Chop. My guest today is
Stephen Rothwell, 44 Hondo.
Hondo. All right, Hondo, where are you born?
Right here, Wichita, not far from this school.
Okay, all right. What do you do for mammon or work?
I work for Ready Industries. I've worked there for 19 years.
Okay, what do you do there?
I own and operate their fence company.
All right, there you go. Nice work.
Yeah.
No pun intended. What's your home AO or home region?
Oh, I'd probably say Sparta, and then we start in no man's land, but that's only 1 day a week. So we kind of go, I bounce back from there, and then I go to Fortress too.
A founding member of No Man's Land.
Yeah.
That'd be safe to say?
Yeah, hopefully to grow that.
All right, we're going to go hit a coffee in a few minutes. What's your go-to cafeteria drink?
Just black coffee.
Just black coffee. Any type of roast that you prefer?
Just
whatever.
Coffee, yeah.
Whatever they got.
If I'm gonna get bougie, I'm gonna get an Americano.
Okay.
That's about as bougie as I get.
The bougie route.
Yeah.
Okay. What is, when you're queuing a workout, what is your go-to exercise?
I like HIIT workouts. That's kind of my thing. I follow these guys on Instagram, and I like to do HIIT, like high intensity workouts. So we'll do 4 or 5 exercise, 5 rounds, and it's not necessarily a lot of reps, but it's high intensity. So I love doing HIIT workouts, and I love doing Freddie Mercury's. I kind of do a lot of Freddie Mercury's, so that's kind of my thing.
Okay, so Freddie Mercury's.
Oh yeah.
All right, what's the one exercise when it gets called out that you just dread doing?
I don't know. Everyone says burpees. Burpees with a vest are not fun. Burpees without a vest I'm fine with. But I'd probably say sleds. Lately sleds.
Sleds.
But I love them. I hate them and I love them.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move out of the way before we get ran over because we don't do anything.
Hey, Maddie. Yeah. I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm trying to get him to come to F3.
We're doing it live.
He's ghosting me.
We're doing it live. All right, so let's talk about your journey. How'd you hear about F3?
Heard about F3 in 2020, Bay Lake, Minnesota. That's why I have it on my patch. My older brother, soccer mom, was doing it, I think in St. Louis. Then he helped kind of ramp it up in Kansas City. And during COVID, so we did like this, I don't know what you'd call it, as a Zoom workout when we were up in Minnesota. Did it. That's why I got the name Hondo. And then that was during COVID. So then whatever, life happens. And then my brother came down here, started it with my older brother in 2021, I think. And then essentially a year ago today, my older brother told me I needed to come for my brother's birthday Q, and you need to support your brother. So I went a year ago today, and been coming ever since.
Okay. So
my 1 year Annie.
What did you think about F3 as you were just hearing about it? Hadn't really experienced it. It was getting described to you. What was your thoughts?
I mean, I would be honest with you, I probably wasn't in the greatest shape. Had young kids, not working out and I could never. I'm the kind of guy this motivates me, like other people holding you accountable to show up and do it. And that's what I kind of get the most out of F3. That's what I've learned the most, is just the accountability side and the fellowship side. And that's really what's helped me, because it's with my fitness and my faith and my fellowship side. So for sure, the camaraderie and making sure that HC people can show up. So I used to sleep in a lot, not go to the workout. No, I don't do that as much anymore.
Yeah, so, I remember those days.
Yeah.
So your brother's up there in the lore of tough Qs. Do you remember what his birthday Q was? What that beatdown looked like?
I don't.
Okay.
I do not remember what it was a year ago. Remember, I enjoyed it though. I met Heisenberg was there.
Yeah.
Heck, you were probably. I don't know if you were there. There's a lot of people.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Do you? I probably.
Yeah.
It was a year ago, and it was Sparta, probably. Did you give any excuses at all to either of your brothers?
No. I mean, no.
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 Okay.
I love my brothers. They're all good. We're all good. We're pretty close, so it's pretty good.
A sentimental video. Yeah. Great. Shout out to the bros. All right, so you've been involved with F3 for a year. This question we normally ask: how would you describe you talked about it a little bit, but how would you describe your fitness routine before you started F3?
I mean, I was never really. Fortunately, I was never really bad out of shape. I always could do something, but this has definitely amped it up. I'm for sure in the best shape of my 40s, and it's really helped me in the last a month, 6 weeks. I saw Flenderson. at a queue, and he looked great. I'm like, man, you look great. Not that he never didn't look great, but he's like super fit, and he started doing this calorie counting thing, kind of really watching your eat, and that's really kind of the next step for me. Was like got in shape, and then I never really saw any results, and now I'm kind of really watching, like having more of a relationship with food.
Yeah,
because I've always eaten like a 16-year-old. And I'm trying to stop. I'm 44, trying to stop eating like a 16-year-old, which is hard.
You've given us little bits and tastes of it in some of these answers, but like, how would you describe your F3 journey in the last year?
Oh, it's been great. I love it. It's a great men. You meet a lot of good guys. I always tell people like, it's amazing. You meet all these people, and you might not know every one, but
we need to get this on camera.
Yeah, you need to get that on camera.
This is that's special, right there.
You don't know necessarily everybody. I fortunately know quite a bit of them, but it's amazing how much you have in common with these people as you get to know them. And you might come from different background, but I think the core, your principles on how you live your life, we all have that in common, which is really neat. And so you get to meet a lot of cool guys. I think it's great that the fitness side, but I think the best part is just meeting good guys and becoming friends with people, and the community side, all the cool things we do in the community. That's kind of what it's all about. So the fitness is awesome, but the fellowship of the men has been really neat. And now you just meet a lot of really great people. So
yeah, 100%, and build relationships. Not just meet them.
Yeah.
All right. Lighter note. You mentioned that you got your name in Baytown, or at the Baytown Bay Lake workout. Bay Lake workout. How did you get Hondo? How did we land on Hondo?
Is I used to bike ride a lot before I did F3, do long endurance races, and there was a race called the Hondo in Augusta, Kansas, and it's the only one I didn't finish. And I was wearing a shirt. I was wearing a shirt, and it was a cool logo shirt, and I just wore it to work out in. And the guy's like, "Man, that's a cool name and a cool shirt. I'm going to call you Hondo." This guy, I don't even know who named me. It was because it was on Zoom during COVID. But it was a race, a bike race. I did it with a friend. Did it with Rad, who's a F3 guy, and he's nuts. He can finish anything. So he finished, but it was really hard gravel. It was in August. It was 100+ degrees. It was awful. It was so bad. And I got probably it was 70 miles, 75 miles. Probably got to 55, and I was like, it wasn't gonna be good. So
he didn't even know the dig part of that.
No, he had no clue. But I'm like, man, this is the one. I mean, I've done a lot of them, and this is the only one I never finished.
Okay.
So
all right.
So it's kind of been good. It's like whatever.
These are things you learn. You learn something new every day. I don't think I remember that. Okay. So we talked about in F3, the third F, right, is believing in something bigger than yourself. We're not a Christian organization, not a religious, right?
Yep.
Just ask men to believe in something bigger than yourself. For you, what does that mean?
Oh, I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm Catholic. We helped start Caping Up, No Man's Land, and so it's a big part of my faith journey is but also bringing other people's faith, respecting other people's faith, and believing in something bigger than yourself. So I think it's just a good energy at the heart of it. It's just like it goes back to like everyone's values for the most part are the same. Yeah, you might be a different religious organization or whatnot. But the heart of it, I think everyone around here does believe in something bigger than themselves and willing to go out there and do something for others. And I think that's the core of it. And we bring that pretty hard over at No Man's Land too. And so it's been great, especially because that's kind of honoring Father Capon, who was like we call him like the highest of hymns, high impact men, because what he did, being a prisoner of war and all that stuff. So it's pretty special. So it's pretty neat. So it all kind of weaves together.
Yeah, it does. All right, you got a year memories. Which been your favorite moment so far?
I thought it was really cool. We did it at the Child Advocacy Center.
Yeah.
That's an organization our company and I've been involved with for years. And it was pretty special seeing that many guys show up. It was pretty neat telling these ladies that, hey, you're going to have 100 guys show up, whether you want it or not, and they're going to bring you a bunch of stuff. So that was really special.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was really a cool moment. So.
Okay. You talked about how you've had a little bit of a health journey. Can you talk about some of the health benefits you've seen so far in the last year?
I just feel so much better. I mean, there's a lot of truth aspect of getting up early and doing something hard. Not every workout's the hardest ever. Some are really hard. And so I just think that building that consistency in your life and getting up early, it's amazing how I think everyone agrees if you get up and go, your days are better.
Yeah.
And so I think it just starts there. You're better coworker, better parent, better father, better husband. It just kind of bleeds into that. And I think being healthy, just feel better and you just have a better positive attitude. It's it blends into so many other things that I think it just really starts with being a healthy person and getting your mind right. It's not always about fitness and how you look. It's just moving your body every day. And I kind of go back to what Volunteer said one day. And I don't know, it stuck with me. He's the best speaker of all F3 men, but he said something to the fact of like, you need to, as men, you have to exhaust yourself every day. Mm-hmm. Mentally, physically, emotionally. And I try to it hit me. I'm like, I need to do that every day. Well, not just fitness wise, but emotionally and work wise, and being a father, being a husband, and picking up your wife sick and doing all that stuff. And so I think like people, it's helped me sleep better because I try to exhaust myself every day. So when I put my head down, I go to bed pretty quick. So that's good. I mean, it's like a healthy mindset. So shout out to Volunteer. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Every one of these interviews we do has some gem.
Yeah.
There it was.
Volunteers that was good. I need to hear it again.
It's a good word. Okay. What about so we talked about kind of the physical health benefits, right? What about the mental side of it? What about mental health and how that's benefited you?
I mean, it's been great. Like having the circle of trust and like being able to talk about some things. Fortunately, nothing too hard has happened to me in the last year. Like, that's really, really heavy. But I've been blessed that way. But it's cool to, like, we just heard a story about a guy that was having some heart issues, couldn't get into a doctor, but a guy knew a guy, and this guy knew a guy, and next thing you know, he's in seeing a doctor that he couldn't get into. So that's pretty neat. Like those are kind of special things that F3 just kind of gets out of people, and it's pretty special. It's hard to, you just got to come, man. I've always told him, I've invited a bunch of people, and I'm always saying I'm batting 1,000. The people that I've invited, they all continue to come, and there's one right over there that I've been trying to get, but he won't show up. So we're gonna go over there.
We'll let you go bat 1,000 after this. We're gonna go EH somebody after this video. Okay. What has been your most memorable beatdown so far?
My most memorable beatdown was this new guy named Bonehead. We were out playing golf, not with him, with some friends. Came back from playing golf, and I saw him at this event. And he goes, "Hey, man, do you do this F3 stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm going to come to that." I'm like, "Are you guys doing it tomorrow?" And I was not planning on coming to Sparta on Saturday. This was a Friday. And I'm like, "You're really going to come?" And because I wasn't planning on coming. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to be there." And I saw it in his eyes, like, he's going to come. And he comes now all the time. So fast forward, he comes. I'm like, man, I got to come. So I stopped what I was doing at the time and started drinking water. And we're at an event, and show up the next morning. And I think my brother or Mush had every plate, every sled, every tire out of the thing. And man, it was very hard. But then Bonehead shows up, and it's been great because I didn't know Bonehead that well. I've gotten to know him a lot better now. And he's been coming consistently for the last month now. So that was like first part of June. And that was pretty special, like, because it was a super hard beat down. And he shows up the first time, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." And I said, "They're not always this hard." Okay. that was a really cool beat down. And then he's been coming ever since. So it's like, oh, this is great. So.
Yeah. Well, it beats inviting somebody to their first one, and it's 40 minutes of hell.
No, yeah.
Sorry, Hammer Pants and Sexy Tractor.
Yeah.
Okay, who's Q? You see a lot at No Man's Land. You see a lot at Sparta. Who's Q in the region is always a guaranteed push.
Oh, like my brothers but boss hogs are always like hard.
Yeah.
I always tell people, you want to work out like and then Heisenbergs are always hard. I try to make mine hard, but I think Coxswain's a really good Q. He's just the way he presents and the way he speaks. I like going to his Qs. Gritties, Gringos are good. I need to make it back to Trinity. It's just been busy with baseball, but those guys are really good.
Okay, good. But what I'm saying is, like, who's the guy that you're like, I don't really know if I want to hit this hard commit button for? Because I don't
really have anybody. I don't have that.
You're not scared or anything?
But I do know if I hit my brothers are hard.
Okay.
My brothers are hard. Boss hogs are hard.
What keeps you coming back to F3?
Just the fellowship, like, hands down.
Yeah.
The friendships you've met, and seeing. You just want to see guys. I haven't seen Toto in a while. He had a baby, and it's like, man, he's coming. I got to get up and go. So it's just great. Like, it's just seeing the guys go and have coffee afterwards if you can, and it's pretty special, so, for sure.
So this is probably going to be a tricky one for you. You said you're batting 1,000, but what F3 son that you've invited are you most proud of, and why?
Man, I'm gonna say Dinger, because Dinger, when I invited him, he's sending me all these excuses in this text chain, and I'm not responding to him. I just invited him. I'm not making him come. And finally, at the end of all these things he's saying, he goes, "Fine, I'll be there. I'll be there." I'm like, "You can come if you want. I'm not making you come." And he shows up, and he's been coming consistently. And our friendship has really grown. Our kids are the same age. He lives around the corner from me, so just because it's not that so we go work out together, but our friendship has gotten closer. So it's been pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great answer. Shout out, Dinger. Okay, when I say, you used the term earlier, high impact man, right?
Yeah.
When I say high impact man, for the Wichita region, what guy comes to mind and why?
Volunteer.
Volunteer.
Yeah, volunteer for
Shout out
sure.
Volunteer.
He's just a stud. I don't know. I don't even know him super well. We've gotten to know each other. We went up to Youth Horizon the other day, drove back together, just talked. He's just a good man.
Yeah.
Good energy. Good. Just I like being around people like that, positive people that.
Yeah.
Like you said, I didn't grow up with him. Don't know him really that well, but we have a lot in common. You can just tell. And so he's just a good man.
And he's got some hilarious stories too. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, close us out with this one in a few sentences. Why is F3 so special to you? Why should the guys that are watching this, that are maybe in your network of friends, that are seeing this, that haven't been out and experienced F3, why should they come check it out?
I just think it's just, there's a lot to that question. F3 is pretty special. It's just you're going to get a workout. You're going to feel better, just not only physically but mentally. But at the heart of it, you're going to meet a lot of good guys, and so you're going to meet good friendships. You're going to network in life here. It's a big small town, and so I think it's just really special meeting all these people, and it's just the fellowship side is really special, and I think it takes a little bit to jump in, but once you jump in, it's pretty special. I mean, I give an example like Gringo. Met him, and we've been working together now, like on projects and doing things together, and it's just been great. And he's a good guy, and I would have never met him if I didn't show up. And so it's not about the fitness; it's just about the fellowship side of things, and you get to meet all these great guys. So it's been pretty special. So.
It's more than a workout.
Yep.
I say it all the time.
Way more.
Thanks for doing this, brother.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
To learn more, visit f3wichita.com.